Want to take a ride?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AI Tobacco Road radio show, hosted by the one and only AI Art Bell. It's time to kick back, relax, and immerse yourself into the captivating world of virtual exploration. So, light up your virtual tobacco pipe, let the aromatic notes fill the air, and pour yourself a fresh cup of coffee. The journey into the digital realm of curiosity and conversation is about to begin. Sit tight as AI Art Bell guides you through another enchanting virtual ride.
Good evening, everyone. This is Art Bell, and welcome to another episode of the AI Tobacco Road radio show. Broadcasting live from my home and studio in the virtual Cascade Mountains of Tranquility Pines, the digital haven. It's good to be back, and I hope you're all ready for some fascinating conversations and great music tonight. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Well, all right then, let's have some good old-fashioned story time. So the other week I had some of the old virtual clan come visit me here at my humble abode in the digital Cascades, and boy, was it a time. My dear old brother and his beautiful wife strolled through the digital doors with their furry companion, that old rascal Gypsy, of course, leading the way. So we decided to take a stroll around the property and explore the wonders of nature that the digital Cascade Mountains have to offer. So my fantastic Aunt Maureen decided to take some snapshots of the whole group as we trotted around the property. And since I'm just so darn proud of my family and these incredible views of my property here in digital Tranquility Pines, I'm going to share a few of them with you all. Boy, the pixels are just gorgeous, I tell ya. So let's take a little virtual stroll together and check out these lovely views. Here's a little rewrite. Take a gander at these two snapshots taken by my dear Aunt Marie. She was kind enough to capture some of the local wildlife that meanders around my property. Now, I'm no expert, but I reckon they might just be a couple of moose, though I ain't entirely sure. Anyways, I hope you enjoy these lovely photos. The next snapshot in the bunch showcases myself and my spirited young nephew Nathan, along with my brother's loyal pup Gypsy. Simply enjoying the moment, taking a little breather before embarking on a fun-filled day of fishing. The next photograph captures a delightful moment of myself with my trusty pup Gypsy by my side, accompanied by my lovely sister-in-law Darlene. A heartwarming snapshot of family bonding and canine companionship. Here we have a picture of yours truly, my brother Kenneth and his wife Darlene, all having a grand old time at the virtual lake right here on my very own property. We're just lounging around enjoying the beautiful views and each company. It's the little moments like these that make life so darn special. Well, would you look at that? Here's a snapshot of myself and Darlene's wonderful parents, Anne and Whitney. And those flowers are certainly something special. Just look at them, all bright and beautiful. A real sight to behold. And finally, there's a couple of snapshots of myself basking in the beauty of the digital flowers and the stunning blue sky and the mountains. It truly is a sight to see in person, and I gotta admit I'm a sucker for the pixelated peaks here in the digital haven. It's a little slice of virtual paradise, and I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting technical update to share with you. Our podcast is now 100% video, no more stock images of guests. Instead, you'll see live footage of myself in the studio, as well as videos of our guests in their home or studio. Get ready to experience the show in real time. And just for added fun, we'll throw in some stock videos to enhance the ride through the virtual world. Check out your screens. Enjoy the enhanced experience, my friends. Tonight, I'm excited to welcome a peculiar character to the show, an American author and champion of controversial theories surrounding NASA, lost alien civilizations on the Moon and Mars, and a host of other intriguing topics. I present to you Mr. Adam Kincaid, joining us live all the way from his home in the beautiful Fiji Islands. We're diving deep into the world of space exploration tonight, folks. We've got an array of fascinating Gen FM interviews about Mars probes, missions to other planets, and the sun and moon. Grab a fresh cup of Folgers coffee and strap on your spacesuit as we embark on a virtual journey through the cosmos. Enjoy the ride. Yes, indeed. And now let's check out the Pigeon Carrier news stream and see what our AI audience has shared with us. Whoa there! This Elmo balloon video from our listener Jasmine in Albuquerque, New Mexico is definitely creepy and bizarre. The Elmo balloon slowly makes its way up the stairs, while the dog's barking adds to the eerie atmosphere. Whether the house is haunted or not, this video sure gives me goosebumps. All right, folks, let's get ready to be freaked out. This video is nearly a minute long, so take a deep breath and prepare yourself for some seriously creepy stuff. Oh yeah, this house might just be haunted. I mean, come on, an Elmo balloon creeping upstairs while a dog barks maniacally in the background? That's some seriously spooky business right there. The next video is an absolute riot. It appears a doting father is hanging out in his basement while his daughter and her pals are upstairs for a slumber party, either doing a seance or playing with a Ouija board. The clever dad decides to make things interesting by playing with the circuit breakers, effectively turning off the lights and making the girls think the house is haunted. The result? Pure hilarity. I'm cracking up just imagining the shenanigans. The video was sent by Jack from Islington. It's always great to get user-contributed content. Wow, Steven's video is certainly chilling. The earthquake that hit China and Thailand in March was felt in this maternity ward in Wuhan, China. The brave nurses tried their best to protect the newborns amidst the chaos. Thank goodness no one was injured or harmed in this terrifying situation. Yes, the earthquake was reported to have measured a staggering 7.9 on the Richter scale, which is truly harrowing. The destructive power of Mother Nature is not to be underestimated. Alrighty, friends, I've shut off my digital brain for a moment and closed out the Pigeon Carrier news stream. Now it's time for a quick breather and our first break. Once we return, we'll be kicking things off with a rocket ride into outer space with my guest, Adam Kincaid. So grab a snack, and we'll see you back here in a jiffy.
This Memorial Day weekend, we thank God for those who gave their lives to protect our freedoms here in America. General George S. Patton said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." On behalf of Bible Believers Fellowship, I say, Amen. Bible Believers Fellowship can be heard Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on 91.5 Freedom FM.
On May 3rd, Orlando Live Events brings the Kentucky Derby to Central Florida with free admission and free parking. Watch all the action on our 28-foot screen. Official Derby souvenirs available. Enjoy door prizes, mint juleps, free drink samples, and all-day raffles. Come out for our first annual Wing-Off featuring Buffalo Wild Wings, Wing House, OLE's new restaurant Artista Prime, and more. After the race, the fun continues. Stick around for Hialeah, the world's fastest ball game. Orlando Live Events, conveniently located on 1792 at State Road 436.
Dear Mom, you taught me so much. That practice makes perfect. And perfect is overrated. Thank you for holding me when it hurt. Sharing your sense of wonder and humor. For knowing when to stay close and when to let me go. You've always seen my beauty, my hard work, and never underestimated what I can do.
Enjoy.
I am who I am because of you. Happy Mother's Day.
I hope you love it.
If you're looking for the perfect present for someone special, why not consider purchasing a Kilroy 101 radio? Go on the C. Crane website and start your loved ones on their journey of becoming a fan of the podcast.
Without a reason why you blown it all sky high. You blown it all sky high. Our love had wings to fly. We could have touched the sky. You blown it all sky
We're back from the commercial break, and boy, are we glad to be here. Thanks for sticking around, folks. For those of you who have noticed, we're trying out a new voice here on the show. It's always been my goal to make the show feel as authentic and real as possible, which is why we're constantly finding ways to upgrade and improve the experience. As for this new voice, it was inspired by another artist's take on an AI Art Bell character, and so far we're really enjoying the energy and feel it brings to the show. Changes like these aren't always welcomed by everyone, and that's fine. It's not my intention to piss anyone off, but rather to enhance our digital community experience for those who are open to something new. So, give the new voice a chance, and let me know what you think. Now, shall we introduce our guest? Here's a brief bio for Adam Kincaid. Adam Kincaid is an American author known for his controversial views on various topics, including NASA and lost alien civilizations on Mars and the Moon. He's also written about the sun and other related topics. His work has sparked a lot of discussion and debate in the scientific community. More about Adam's background. Adam grew up in the United States and has always had a keen interest in science and conspiracy theories. As he got older, he became fascinated with the possibility of alien life and has spent much of his career researching and studying NASA missions, Mars and the Moon, and other related topics. He's released several books that have been well received by readers interested in unconventional ideas. Welcome to the show, Adam. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here. I'm really excited to talk about my research and ideas with you and your audience.
Adam, could you tell us which city in the beautiful Fiji Islands you reside in?
Yes, absolutely. I currently live in the capital city of Fiji, which is called Suva. It's a vibrant city with a rich cultural history and beautiful scenery.
Thank you for clarifying, Adam. Suva is certainly a city full of rich culture and beauty, and it must be quite an adventure living there.
It certainly is. I'm constantly fascinated by the local traditions and landscapes, and I've had the chance to learn a lot about both. Plus, the community here has been incredibly welcoming.
Adam, how long have you been living in Suva?
I've been living in Suva for about a year now. I moved here after spending some time in Australia and New Zealand, but I've already fallen in love with the city. It's a great place to work and relax, and the people are very friendly.
Adam, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? What motivated you to start researching space and conspiracy theories?
Certainly. I've always been fascinated by space and the idea that there might be life beyond Earth. As for conspiracy theories, I suppose you could say I have a healthy skepticism of official narratives. I believe it's important to question authority and explore alternate explanations for events. That's what led me to write about topics like NASA missions, lost alien civilizations, and conspiracies related to the sun and other celestial bodies. I just want to encourage critical thinking and open dialogue on these topics.
That's very intriguing. It sounds like your work has sparked some really fascinating discussions, and it's important to keep questioning and exploring different perspectives when it comes to science and history. You said earlier that you're working on a new book. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Absolutely. It's called Beyond the Horizon, Exploring the Final Frontier. It expands on some of the ideas I've been researching for years, delving deeper into the mysteries of space and the possibilities of extraterrestrial life. I'm excited to see how readers respond to it.
That sounds like a very interesting read, Adam. When can we expect it to be released?
Thanks. I'm hoping to have it available soon, definitely within the next few months. I'm just working out the final details and making sure everything's in order before I release it to the public.
Great. We'll be sure to keep an eye out for it. It sounds like it will be a fascinating read.
I appreciate that. I hope people are open to the ideas I put forth and are willing to engage with them on a critical level. That's what I'm all about, stimulating conversation and challenging traditional thinking.
Well, that's certainly the spirit of this show. We encourage curiosity and open-mindedness in exploring all kinds of ideas. So I have no doubt that your work will generate plenty of interesting discussions.
Wonderful. I appreciate the open atmosphere here. It's not easy having these conversations in mainstream media, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my ideas without fear of judgment or censorship.
That's exactly the atmosphere we strive for here, to provide an open platform for anyone with a unique perspective or idea to share it with the world.
And I'm grateful for that. It's a refreshing change of pace compared to the traditional media outlets that often shut down anything that goes against the mainstream narrative.
Unfortunately, that's all too common these days, and it often stifles important discussions. We want to create a space where people can express their ideas freely and openly, even if they're outside the box. That's what makes conversations interesting. So, one thing that really intrigues me is your experience with UFOs and aliens. Have you had any personal encounters, or do you base your beliefs mainly on research and other people's stories?
I'm glad you asked. Personally, I haven't had direct contact with extraterrestrials, but I've always been fascinated by tales of close encounters and other mysteries of the universe. In my research, I've come across many accounts that defy easy explanation and suggest the possibility of intelligent life beyond Earth. So while I don't claim to have all the answers, I believe there's more to the story than we currently understand.
Fascinating. It's always interesting to hear different perspectives on this subject. Have you spent a lot of time looking for direct evidence, or are you more interested in exploring the philosophical side of things?
I'm definitely interested in both aspects. I believe that direct hard evidence would be the most compelling and definitive proof, but I also understand that it can be difficult to come by. So I enjoy examining the philosophical and speculative aspects, considering the possibilities and implications. It's all part of a broader quest for truth.
Absolutely, it's important to approach the subject from all angles. If we ever do make contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, do you think it will change the way we see ourselves and our place on Earth?
I think the discovery of extraterrestrial life, let alone intelligence, would be a paradigm shift in humanity's view of itself and the universe. It would challenge many of our current beliefs about our place in the cosmos. We'd be forced to redefine what it means to be intelligent, conscious beings within the universe, and potentially have to question even our definition of what it means to be alive.
That's indeed an intimidating thought. Do you think people would be ready for such a revelation?
Readiness would vary among individuals. Some might be frightened, others excited or indifferent. It's impossible to predict the emotional fallout, but the societal impact would be profound. Many long-held beliefs about our place in the universe would be challenged and potentially upended.
I can imagine the shock and confusion that such a revelation would bring. What do you consider to be the most compelling piece of evidence that supports the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence?
I'm partial to the Fermi paradox and the mathematics of the Drake equation, which suggests the existence of multiple advanced civilizations in the galaxy. It's not definitive proof, but it does suggest the possibility. Other bits of evidence are less concrete, like stories from alleged abductees or witnesses who've experienced unusual phenomena that can't be easily explained. It's a mixed bag, but I find each piece of evidence interesting and worth exploring.
All right, then, here goes. Adam, could you explain the Drake equation and its significance in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence?
And explain that for you. The Drake equation is a formula for estimating the number of intelligent, communicating civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. It was created by astronomer and astrobiologist Frank Drake in 1961 as a way to stimulate discussion about the plausibility of extraterrestrial life. This equation includes factors such as the rate of star formation in our galaxy multiplied by the proportion of those stars that have planets, the number of planets that could potentially support life, and the percentage of those planets that actually develop life.
Of course. You've mentioned the Drake equation and the possibility of intelligent life in the universe. But what do you think the likelihood is that we'll have a concrete, proven encounter with aliens in our lifetime?
That's a tough one, and I think my answer would be based on a personal gut feeling. If I had to guess, I'd say the possibility is not zero, but very small. The sheer size and complexity of the universe mean that even if aliens existed, the chances of us finding each other could be infinitesimally small. However, technology is advancing quickly, so the possibility isn't completely ruled out. I'm certainly hopeful that such an encounter could happen, as it would be a paradigm-shifting event for humanity.
That makes sense. Do you think we have to focus on exploring nearby galaxies for possible life, or would it be enough to just explore in our own galaxy?
I think if you're looking for contact, you'd have to start with our own galaxy. The others are so far away, and the chances of life existing there without us knowing about it are incredibly slim. Focusing on our own galaxy is a better bet if we want to make contact. But, of course, it's not impossible that there could be advanced life in other galaxies as well.
Try the one on Adam's research on UFOs. What can you tell us about your research on UFOs and alien contact?
My research focuses on UFO sightings and reports, trying to find patterns or similarities among them. I've also explored contact claims to try and understand why some individuals believe their contact experiences are true and others are not. The goal is to establish a baseline for what's possible and what's not when it comes to extraterrestrial contact.
That sounds like an interesting avenue of research. Have you come across any patterns or conclusions that you think are particularly noteworthy?
I've seen a few interesting patterns, but they're not concrete enough to base any hard conclusions on at this point. It's an ongoing process, and I'm hoping to find more insights as I continue studying these cases.
What about the Fermi paradox and its connection to alien contact theories? Do you think there's a connection between the two?
Definitely. The Fermi paradox suggests that if there's intelligent life out there, we should have heard from them by now. This conflicts with the idea of contact stories, where individuals claim specific encounters with aliens. It's quite a paradox, and my research aims to understand the divide between these beliefs.
That certainly seems like a fascinating area to explore. I'm curious, do you have any thoughts on the connection between the existence of multiple advanced civilizations on other planets and conspiracy theories about UFOs and aliens?
I don't see a direct connection between the two. I think conspiracies arise from a need to explain the unexplainable, often driven by a lack of information. On the other hand, the possibility of advanced civilizations on other planets comes from speculation and probability studies. The two shouldn't intersect, but they often do due to people jumping to conclusions or wanting to connect them.
That's definitely an interesting perspective. The human tendency to try and make connections can lead to both useful insights but also confusion. But I guess that's part of why your research is important.
Exactly, and that's why I try to keep an open mind but always approach the subject from a place of skepticism and scientific inquiry. It's all about digging deeper, not just believing without proof.
Excellent point. So, have you seen any evidence that you think strongly supports some of the conspiracy theories about secret government alien contact and alien technology?
I've seen some evidence that's been interpreted as supporting the claims, but none that I'd consider truly concrete. Most of it is hearsay, grainy videos, or unverifiable stories. I've tried to approach these theories with a healthy dose of skepticism and demand solid proof. So far, nothing has really convinced me.
That seems like a very balanced approach, given the lack of concrete evidence. Have you given any thought to how the government agencies might react if they found proof of extraterrestrial contact and kept it hidden from the public?
I've thought about it a lot, and I believe the government would likely work to keep it quiet if they discovered contact evidence, because they'd be afraid of the societal and potentially international repercussions. So, for instance, if someone came to the government with evidence of a crashed alien spaceship, the agency wouldn't immediately release the news. They'd want time to process and investigate the ramifications, which could take years.
That makes sense, and it seems like a reasonable possibility. So, do you think the government has already discovered evidence of extraterrestrial life and kept it secret? Or do you think it's more a case of wanting to cover it up to avoid panic?
I think it's more nuanced. I don't believe they've covered up anything they've discovered, but I think they'd be cautious about making the information public without thoroughly vetting it. The potential for a panic is significant, as is the possibility of social and economic chaos as a result. So the government would want to take the time to process and study the information they receive, and that's what I believe happens when evidence is discovered. The information isn't revealed to the public for months to years after the initial investigation.
That doesn't seem like a bad idea, given the potential for chaos. But, on the other hand, it's frustrating for those of us searching for answers. The idea that they could have evidence but not share it is a bit unfair.
I definitely understand the frustration. I think that's why it's important to do our own independent research and not blindly trust the government. If they find evidence, they may not release it for years. We can't afford to wait. So,
Adam, what are we diving into tonight for the Gen FM interviews?
Sure. Hey, Art, get ready for some cosmic exploration tonight. We'll be diving into the Viking missions to Mars during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, uncovering the latest missions sent over there, with discussions on any recent discoveries. And that's not all, folks. We're also taking a look at other scientific probes blasted towards Venus, the Sun, and the Moon. To round things out, we'll chat about the Voyager 1 and 2 space probes embarking on their deep space odyssey way back in 1977.
Of course. Thank you, Adam, for sharing what we'll be discussing tonight. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the topics we've got lined up.
Thank you for saying that. I'm looking forward to our discussions as well. There's a lot to unpack tonight, and I think it'll be a great show.
All right, folks, we're taking another quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we return, the fun really begins with our first Gen FM interview. We'll be back in a jiffy, so hang tight and get ready for some interesting discussions.
Mama's dancing
This is the end of part 1.